っていうのは、人間の身体能力を拡大した道具って言いますか、ものって言われてますよね。手足の延長線上にあるもんだっていうふうに。
You join me behind the wheel of a 2012 Mazda Experimental Project 5. Okay, it's an MX-5. I don't think anyone's ever called it an Experimental Project 5 before, but that's what it officially means by Mazda. It's a car that most people are aware of, but in case you didn't know, the MX-5 is a two-seat rear-wheel drive sports car that's lightweight and designed to replace what the British were best at, and that's building small, lightweight sports cars. Once it turned out that the British could no longer run a car company effectively, it fell to the Japanese, who can, to take up the reins. This particular MX-5 is the third generation, known as the NC. This particular one is actually an NC2, which is a facelift. So it has the slightly meaner looking front grille and eyes. It's got a bit of a silly grin on its face compared to the previous model. It's like, this NC came out in 2005 and they sold it right through till 2015, so sold it for a long old time, 10 years. I'm going to admit something here and say that I'd never driven an MX-5 up until today. I mean, it's like they say about Alphas, you're supposed to drive an Alpha.
I have never owned an Alpha.
So you aren't a petrolhead?
If there is a car that you probably should drive as a petrolhead, and I've had it in the back of my mind for a while, it's got to be an MX-5. One of the first things I've noticed driving this car is it's actually got a very comfortable ride, certainly compared to the Mini Cooper S that I drove last time. That was a lot harder, a lot firmer, and this is quite a comfortable car. I've just realised it's one of those cars where you get the wave or the nod from other MX-5 owners. The last time I had a car like that was Subaru Impreza years ago. I like that. I do like feeling like part of a community.
This being the hardtop model, it's electrically operated, but the softtop MX-5s must be dropped manually. The softtop does have a benefit of saving some weight, however, which is important in a car like this.
Just clip it off and away it goes. So yeah, Mazda MX-5 owners always have the roofs down if they can. That's something I've noticed. It's a ridiculously foggy day today. Anyway, it's a very easy car to drive actually. The clutch is very low and it's got a very quick biting point. You know, you obviously just have to get used to that, but it feels incredibly sporty, the way you can just change gear very, very quickly. The gear shift is just very, very nice and easy and very short throw. The steering around town's light. Obviously the visibility is good with the roof down. With the roof up, you've obviously got a bit more to worry about behind you. So the other nice thing is that the throttle response is immediate. With a naturally aspirated engine, you get all the power as soon as you put your foot down, which is of course important with the Jinba Itai oneness of horse and rider. Every input you make into the car needs to react instantly to what you do, otherwise you won't feel at one with the car. That's the whole point of it. And then when you turn in, yeah, the car just goes where you put it. At one with the car is a bit much probably, but it certainly feels really great. The 2-litre engine with 157 horsepower, which is plenty for a car that only weighs 1,100 kilos, will also rev to 7,000 RPM, so it's a revvy beast. Now I'm not going to do that because it's not my car, and even lower down the rev range it sounds great with that roof down. They did a 1.8 as well, but that had around 120 horsepower, so a lot less. I think the 0 to 60 in just over 9 seconds. Apparently that car with the lighter engine actually it can help the handling. I mean, I'd like to try one, but I think the extra power is quite nice and useful. This is a Kuro special edition, which means black in Japanese. There's a load of extra kits. You've got wonderful stone-coloured heated seats, but you've also got black wing mirrors, graphite-coloured alloy wheels, and various other flourishes. Can you get the roof down when it's 0 degrees and the middle of winter? And the answer is absolutely yes. My hands are a bit cold. I think some nice driving gloves would be in order, and maybe a hat. But otherwise, with the heated seats on, now most of these come with heated seats, not all of them, so obviously look out for that. But with the heated seats on, it's quite pleasant. So I'm doing 50 miles an hour now, and it's alright with the windows up. My hair's not getting blown around too much. I think it does need that extra 6th gear actually, because now it's actually cruising at a nice 50 miles an hour, 2,000 RPM in 6th. The pedal box is weirdly small. I've got quite wide shoes on, and I keep catching my clutch foot keeps getting caught on the clutch rest. I'm sure you get used to it. So as you can see, I've got trucks going past me here, truck behind me. It actually doesn't feel, I don't feel particularly exposed or under threat, because it's quite a solid feeling car, this. I think they did work a lot on the safety for the third generation, and that's partly why the car got heavier. Oh, there's somebody with their roof down, and it wasn't an MX-5, it was an MGF. The other good thing about the MX-5 is, despite being a sports car, it's economical. You get 37 mpg out of the 2-litre engine, and it's cheap to insure as well. You really can have the best of all worlds with this car, except for can't get anyone in the back or any much luggage in the boot, but you know, you don't buy a car like this for that. 157 horsepower doesn't sound like a lot, but when you've got only 1100 kilos to shift, it's actually plenty enough to enjoy yourself without being too dangerous. I mean, I suspect that even the 1.8 with its 120 horsepower would be still a very enjoyable car. There was an advert back when this car was new talking about the 50-50 weight distribution of this car, and that's something that the MX-5's always had, and it's critical to the design of it. But it basically means that the car is perfectly balanced. If you put it on the seesaw, right in the middle, it'll just balance. And with it being rear-wheel drive, it's got a 9-metre turning circle, which is tiny. It's a tiny car, and on full lock, the car just goes. I'm in this little car park here, and I can just. Yeah, that's ridiculously good. That. It's got a 50-litre fuel tank, which is actually really impressive. My Vauxhall Astra that I had before, that had a 40-litre fuel tank, and that's a big hatchback. This is a little lightweight sports car, and it's got you can fit 50 litres of fuel in it, so you can get a good old weight and distance with it.
In fact, coupled with the comfortable ride, 6-speed gearbox and good insulation from the folding hardtop, it's surprising how well suited to distance this car is. It's not a Bentley Continental GT, but it really has surprised me. Of course, most MX-5s are soft top and 5-speed, so if you plan to do distance, look for a 6-speed NC2 with the folding hardtop. That way you can drive to your favourite twisty holiday road in quiet comfort and have a blast when you get there.
Quick one on interior practicalities. It's a 2-seat car, but you've got 4 cup holders, and they're pretty decent size as well for a little car like this. I mean, this big fat bottom bottle easily fits in the 2 in the centre console, and then you've got 1 in each door card as well. You've got a glove box. You've got this little storage area behind me here, which you can fit a little bit of stuff in. It looks like the fuel release is hiding there as well. And you've got these circular vents that you can direct at any angle. Interesting thing that I found out about this car, it was designed by a guy called Moray Callum. And I was like, oh, Callum, that's familiar. I wonder if it's got anything to do with Ian Callum, who basically designed all Jaguars for the last 20 years. Yeah, it's his brother, it's his younger brother. Thank you very much to Cheryl for lending me the car, and thanks to all you guys for watching. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and or Facebook if that's your thing. The links to both will be in the description below. And if you want to watch another video, there'll be one up here, another one down here. Take your pick, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.